Pop-up headlights were a common feature typically associated with sports cars, but Honda also incorporated them into their models. These headlights could mechanically flip up and down and were cleverly concealed when turned off. This particular lighting configuration can be traced back to the 1930s, but over time, changes in vehicle lighting regulations altered the landscape. By the 1990s, the pop-up headlight faced extinction due to safety concerns. Consequently, manufacturers phased out this unique headlight design, and by 2004, it had vanished completely. The mysterious appeal of automatic seatbelts remains a mystery, but many compact cars from the 1980s featured this intriguing innovation. If you recall stepping into an older Honda Civic or Honda Accord, you might remember the seatbelt sliding across your shoulder, a concept where the car handled the task of seatbelt fastening. While the intentions behind this design were noble, these seatbelts required the manual buckling of the lap belt, a step often overlooked by many. Moreover, seatbelt motors would frequently malfunction or get stuck, making buckling up nearly impossible. Consequently, by the early 1990s, this feature had been entirely abandoned. Car buyers used to lament the theft or damage of their antennas at car washes. In response, automakers introduced power antennas. These antennas were employed in vehicles well into the early 2000s and offered several advantages. However, they came with the drawback of increased complexity when it came to replacement or repair, sometimes costing hundreds of dollars. Thankfully, over time, automakers devised ways to incorporate antennas seamlessly into the car's design, rendering the power antenna a relic of the past. Vent windows allowed passengers in a car to pivot a small triangular glass section to let in fresh air, an essential feature during a time when air conditioning was a luxury not found in most vehicles in the first half of the 20th century. Even in the 1950s, air conditioning was a luxury reserved for high-end cars, and vent windows began to disappear as AC became more affordable and standard in vehicles. Some of the last vehicles to include this feature were the 1996 Ford F-150s and Dodge Rams. Landau roofs, once seen as the pinnacle of American luxury, imitated the look of a convertible and were named after the horse-drawn carriage from Landau, Germany. However, these roofs had a tendency to deteriorate and fall apart over time, necessitating costly replacements. The Landau roof fell out of favor by the 1990s, although occasionally you might still find one on a new Cadillac. Influenced by the movie Smokey and the Bandit, in a time when cell phones didn't exist, some cars in the 1980s offered the option of a CB radio. This CB radio facilitated two-way communication between vehicles, but the fad waned as cell phones became ubiquitous. Despite this decline, CB radios are still used today by enthusiasts, truckers, and emergency responders, proving that some technologies never truly go out of style. While General Motors pioneered the removable T-top roof design, many other automakers adopted it, making T-tops an iconic feature of the 1970s and 1980s. However, they presented safety challenges, compromising the car's structural integrity and often suffering from leaks and damage due to improper storage. Eventually, automakers abandoned this concept, with GM offering them as an option on some models until 2002. Front bench seating, a feature dating back to horse-drawn carriages, offered extra passenger space and comfort in large American sedans. However, safety regulations in the 1970s led to the decline of front bench seats in favor of center consoles. The introduction of center consoles meant that many new cars no longer had the space for front bench seats, leading to their abandonment in sedans. Automakers aimed to enhance the interior quality of their vehicles, leading to the popularity of velour seats. These seats were designed for comfort and luxury, found in a wide range of cars from Hondas to Cadillacs. However, they weren't ideal for long summer trips as they tended to make passengers sweat. Additionally, they didn't hold up very well, often breaking down and becoming flat within a few years. Chrysler continued to use velour seating until the 1990s, but for most, it's a relic of the 1980s. Car seats with button tufting provided an ultra-comfortable and luxurious experience, often featured on lower trim levels. GM was notorious for offering this feature, and Chrysler was one of the last automakers to include it in their K-car interiors. Over time, button tufting became a passing fad, commonly associated with lowriders cruising American streets. Nowadays, seating is more comfortable than ever, with leather being the go-to upholstery for the car industry. The image of a family embarking on a vacation in a wood-paneled station wagon wasn't confined to the realm of movies. Many car models came equipped with fake wood panels along the sides. However, these panels were often poorly constructed, resulting in their disintegration or detachment. Various cars featured this wood paneling, with Chrysler being one of the last companies to offer it on the Town & Country minivan until 1996. Today, wood paneling adds a touch of nostalgia to vintage vehicles, reminiscent of those memorable family road trips in the station wagon.